Midsummer Feasts. In ancient Gaul, which encompassed most modern-day France and some parts of its neighbouring countries, the midsummer celebration was called the Feast of Epona. The celebration was named after a mare goddess who personified fertility and protected horses. In ancient Germanic, Slav and Celtic tribes, pagans celebrated Midsummer with bonfires. After Christianity spread in Europe and other parts of the world, many pagan customs were incorporated into the Christian religion. In parts of Scandinavia, the midsummer celebration continued, but was observed around the time of St. John's Day, which is on the 24th of June, to honour St. John the Baptist instead of the pagan gods. Honouring the sun. In North America, some Native American tribes held ritual dances to honour the sun. The Sioux were known to hold one of the most spectacular rituals. Preparations for the event included cutting and raising a tree that would be considered a visible connection between the heavens and earth, and setting up teepees in a circle to represent the cosmos. Participants abstained from food and drink during the dance itself. Their bodies were decorated in the symbolic colours of red being sunset, blue being the sky, and yellow lightning. White was light and black was night. So, food ideas. Fresh produce at this time. You get salad vegetables, tomatoes, cucumber, onions, carrot, baby carrots, broccoli, cabbage, beetroot, cauliflower, fresh salad leaves, courgettes, beans, peppers, apples, grapes, fresh peaches or apricots, gooseberries, plums or vine leaves. And then there's the early berries and currants. So blueberries, cherries, raspberries, loganberries, strawberries and red currants. I should have put gooseberries in here as well, but hey ho. So food ideas continued. We have meat. So pork, ham, beef, chicken, lamb. They're the main ones around at this time. Dairy products would be eggs, milk, cheese and butter. While drink would be beer, cider, wine, teas, all the herbal teas available, coffees and coffee substitutes, mead, milk, fresh juices like cherry, plum, raspberry, apple, grape, etc. Then we have herbs. So basil, sage, rosemary, thyme, parsley, marjoram, chives, bay leaf, lavender and mint can all be found in the garden at this time if you happen to plant them. For the wild varieties, you have bilberries, wild cherries, ash, which is rowan berries, elder, ground elder, honeysuckle, lime, dog rose, wild chamomile, oxeye daisy, sweet violet, wild garlic, chickweed, fat hen, mallow, meadowsweet, wild strawberry and yarrow. Just make sure you're picking the right kind of wild foods so that you don't poison yourself, as there can be some very difficult ones to find. So midsummer feast spices and spice equivalents. Because the UK climate is not suited for exotic tropical spices like cloves, ginger or pepper, foragers and chefs rely on distinct botanical equivalents. So wood avens or herb bennet, the root of this common hedgerow weed contains euglenol, giving them a distinct clove flavour. Perfect for baked goods and mulled drinks. Alexander's, known as poor man's pepper. This coastal plant produces seeds with a distinct peppery, slightly bitter tang. Hogweed. The unripe seeds of common hogweed taste remarkably like a mix of cardamom, bitter orange and allspice. Water pepper. Found in wet environments, this plant delivers a surprisingly fiery kick compared to chili or black pepper. Watercress is another one that gives this peppery kick. Scurvy grass, despite its name, is a flowering coastal plant that packs an intense, sinus-clearing, mustard-like bite. Now we come to Midsummer Feasts. Recipe ideas. So just a few. You've got lavender biscuits, lemon balm tea, herb jellies like mint or basil jelly, burgers and salads. Easy mint jelly recipe. So ingredients would be 1.5 cups of packed fresh mint leaves, including the stems, 2¼ cups of boiling water, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, 3½ cups of white sugar, and half a bottle, that'd be 125 ml, of Certo liquid pectin. 1 cup equals 240 millilitres or 200 grams. So you'll need about 3 or 4 smallish jars with lids, sterilised. Sterilisation method to follow. When I say smallish, I mean the ones you typically find containing jellies and sauces in the supermarket. They're roughly half the size of a normal jam jar. Ideally, new lids where possible, but always reuse the jam jars. But it does actually tell you how to sterilise the lids as well. If you double the recipe to use the whole bottle of pectin, which doesn't tend to keep well once it's open, don't forget, double everything else and find 6 to 7 jars. So the method. Put the kettle on to boil water. Wash the mint off and put in a large saucepan and crush it until with a potato masher to release all of the oils from the mint until it's all crushed down. Add 2¼ cups of boiling water. Bring the pan to the boil, turn off the heat and let it stand for about 10 to 15 minutes. Don't be tempted to leave it longer because eventually the mint solution will start to taste bitter and it doesn't help the colour either. Then strain the mint into a jug through a sieve and then put the rest of the leaves on the compost heap. Measure out 1 2/3 cups, which are equivalent to about 400 ml of the mint liquid, and stir in the lemon juice. Add the sugar, bring to a high heat, stirring all the time until the sugar is dissolved. Once the sugar is all dissolved, the solution should look clear and the liquid is boiling. Add the pectin. Boil for 2 to 3 minutes, stirring constantly. Then take the pan off the heat and skim any scum or foam off the top with a spoon. Pour the jelly into the jars, put the caps on. Lower them into a large pan of boiling water, leaving a gap between them and ensuring the boiling water covers them. Bring to the boil and put the lid on the pan and process for about 10 minutes. So keep it on a low simmer for about 10 minutes. So, continued. Note, this pectin is made from apple skins and pulp. So the good news is it's a natural pectin. The bad news, apples go brown if they're left. So the liquid pectin will make the solution go brown rather than green in colour. But you'll find this is generally true of whenever you're making mint jelly. If this really bothers you, now is the time to quickly add some green food colouring to try and make an impact on the colour, but it certainly doesn't change the set taste. The second recipe is a lemon balm tea. Lemon balm is in full bloom by Letha, or the summer solstice, so it's a perfect time to make a pitcher of cool lemon balm tea. So the preparation time is about 20 minutes, and the ingredients: 2 cups of lemon balm leaves, that would be about 400 grams, with honey or another sweetener to taste, and water. So bring 2 litres of water to the boil and add the leaves. Reduce the heat and allow to steep for about 15 minutes. Strain the leaves out and then add the honey or the other sweetener to taste. If the tea is too strong, add a bit more water to thin it out. Pour into ice-filled pitchers or jugs and serve. You may want to add a sprig of mint for a garnish. So I hope you enjoy the recipes and enjoy Letha or the summer solstice.